When sugarcane was discovered, who knew this plant could change the way the world thought and cooked? Sugarcane can store and create sucrose in large quantities, which made it go from an unknown Asian spice to what is now the world's biggest crop. It originated from warm regions of Asia. It quickly spread across the world. This helped new populations and civilizations to improve their sugar production. Sugarcane was originally grown in New Guinea around 1800 BC. From there, knowledge about this plant slowly moved east across Southeast Asia until it reached India, where the first major organized production of sugar began during the middle of 1st millennium BC. In 510 BC, the emperor of ancient Persia invaded India and discovered and called sugar the reed which gives honey without bees. This new substance was then, just as many other discoveries at the time, kept secretly and used as a new form of wealth. It was the big enlargement of the Arab population and land in the 7th century AD that led to the discovery of how sugar grew and was produced, especially during the invasion of Persia in 642.
Sugar was discovered by Western Europeans as a result of the Crusades in the 11th century. Crusaders returning home talked of this new spice and how sweet and pleasant it was. Until then, honey was the go-to sweetener. The first sugar in Europe was recorded in England in 1099. At the time, the price was recorded at 2 shillings a pound. This equates to about $100 per kilo at today's prices, which is much higher than the 13 cents per kilo today. In the 15th century, Venice was a center for sugar refineries. The canes were brought into Venice, and the sugar was made there, then exported around Europe. In the same century, Columbus sailed to the Americas. It is known that in 1493, he took sugarcane plants to grow them in the Caribbean. The climate there was so advantageous for the growth of the cane that an industry was quickly established. The United Kingdom quickly recognized the potential of the sugar industry. By 1750, there were 120 sugar refineries operating in Britain. Their combined output was only 30,000 tons per annum, but the demand was so low for sugar anyways, because only the rich could afford it. The government knew that, so they took advantage of the situation by taxing sugar to a maximum. In Britain, for instance, sugar tax in 1781 totaled 326,000, a figure that had grown by 1815 to £3 million. This situation was to stay until in 1874, when the British government under Prime Minister Gladstone abolished the tax and brought sugar prices within the means of the ordinary citizen. Sugar beet was first identified as an alternative to sugar in 1747. By 1880, sugar beet had replaced sugarcane as a main source of sugar on continental Europe. However, this took much longer in the UK, that had such a strong grip on the sugar plantation industries that the introduction of beet sugar to England was delayed until the First World War, when Britain's sugar imports were threatened.
Today, sugar is one of the most used ingredients in kitchen work. It is in a big majority of the food we eat. Every day, an average American eats 22 teaspoons of sugar per day, which equals to 35 kilos per year. This is a huge problem in modern society, as more and more factories are built and therefore more fields are destroyed. Those factories use dangerous chemicals which are dangerous for nature. Most importantly, sugar is bad for our bodies and can lead to some severe consequences. Indeed, sugar contains fructose, which is a substance that contains the sweet taste of sugar we all love. However, this fructose is what can kill us if consumed in too great quantity. Indeed, it firstly affects the brain, and it therefore can distinguish when you've had too much to eat. You are then constantly hungry and eat more than you should. It also affects your pancreas, which has to work harder. This results in several diseases such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, or heart diseases. When overly serious, those can lead to death. In general, obesity is a large problem as it has very many negative consequences in every possible way, physically and morally.